And New Yorkers stop me all the time in trying to find the rationale behind this. And I found it in this book. I'm going to encourage every New Yorker to read it. I don't want to sound conspiracy theory, but there's a permanent government. There are people that see presidents and mayors come and go. Their attitudes will wait you out. You know what book is a great book, man? Everybody should read the book, Cash Patel's Government Gangsters.
Okay.
Boy. So we got to talk about some fascinating news out of New York City. Mayor Eric Adams has dropped out of the Democrat primary, and he is now running as an independent, okay? Now, there's some people saying he left the Democrat Party. Apparently, he hasn't left the Democrat Party, but he's definitely trying to get revenge against the Democrat Party in this New York City mayor's race, and I'm going to explain exactly what I mean. But Eric Adams seems to be going through a political transformation, okay? He's not a Republican, and quite honestly, I don't think he can actually be a Republican. I think he's too woke to be a Republican. I wouldn't even want him to be a Republican at this point because of how woke he is, but he's a useful tool, okay? He's a very useful tool, okay? And now that his charges have been dropped permanently, they can't be brought back against him, he is speaking out and dropping some hard truths when it comes to the Democrat Party, especially when you talk about the Trump derangement that basically drives the Democrat Party at this point. Take a look.
And the thing is, I keep saying this and people don't like it. They get upset. You know, the Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Yeah.
You can hate someone so much that even if they do something
You're
right.
You're blind to it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know that? And you can like or dislike Elon, but you don't have any right blowing up someone's Tesla.
Right, exactly.
You don't have any right.
Yeah.
I mean, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
You know, you don't have any right going in and destroying.
They drew a dick on his Tesla.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, by the way. That was,
you understand what I'm saying?
A white dick too, small.
Small white dick.
But think about that.
Now, to be fair,
they should get 40 years. But
yeah, so that does happen.
That's the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
When you say, okay, I'm upset that you do indulge and you're closing down jobs, but you know what? You should close down Tesla. What about those people that work there?
Dude, I literally said that I was on this guy's podcast, and I was like, listen, I totally understand you, Theo Vaughn's podcast, and I was like, I totally understand that, like, you people who are critical of Elon, there's reasons to be critical. Everybody should have the freedom to be critical, right? And I go, but hoping that Tesla shuts down,
right?
Like, I understand you're upset that people lost jobs. It doesn't improve the situation if you make more people lose jobs.
Right. Because what Biden's Justice Department did was unbelievable. You placed mothers on FBI watch lists because you are worried about what they're being taught to children in school.
Wait, what is that?
Yeah, you know, they had mothers and families placed on FBI watch lists, terrorist watch lists, because of their advocacy around some of the things that they're teaching their children in school. They wanted to acknowledge, they call them terrorists. I'm telling you, you got to see what that Justice Department did. And a lot of people want to ignore what you know, they talk about my case.
Yeah.
But when Biden pardoned his son, he said, the Justice Department has been politicized.
Yeah, that was
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're not like staunch Biden people.
Right. It's like, it is a tricky thing because, you know, I'm pardoning my kid 100% if I have that power. But at the same time, I understand the frustration that
1,000%.
you must absolutely feel. Okay, so
And we're not hearing no one from
hearing the same criticism.
No one from the Justice Department quit. None of them saying, I think what you're doing is wrong, so I'm quitting.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you, read Cash's book.
Yeah, so Eric Adams is taking some red pills, right? He's realizing that his party is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs insane, okay? But again, he's not quite a Republican, and I'm okay with that, right? I'm totally fine with that. I'm not mad at Eric Adams for not becoming a Republican, because in this case, him not running as a Republican, running as an independent, honestly is better, right? It is better. I'm going to explain to you guys why I believe that it is better. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this clip from Newsmax.
But I'm not a quitter.
I'm a New Yorker. And that is why today, although I am still a Democrat, I am announcing that I will forego the Democratic primary for mayor and appeal directly to all New Yorkers as an independent candidate in the general election.
That was today. Let's bring in Judge Andrew Napolitano, our senior judicial analyst, to discuss this, because yesterday we were sitting here talking about the case being dropped.
Right.
We actually were at an event last night. You were there at some point. Eric Adams came in. He was in good spirits,
Yes,
obviously.
he was.
I want to put up what he posted on X about the case being dropped with prejudice here, which means it cannot be resurrected. And basically, Judge is saying it's been dismissed with prejudice. It can never be brought back. Let me be clear. As I've said all along, this case should have never been brought because I did nothing wrong. He goes on to say that, and now he says, I'm going to be an independent. So he's not ditching the Democrats. He's not turning Republican. There's a lot of layers here. Do you think that him having this case be dropped will help or hurt him when it comes to re-election?
I think New Yorkers will see right through the political nature of dropping this. 5 prosecutors have looked at this, including the former U.S. Attorney in New Jersey, Chris Christie, the former governor, and they've all advised the evidence of guilt is overwhelming. One of his co-conspirators pleaded guilty and agreed to testify against him. He dodged a bullet. This is also a thumb in the eye to the Justice Department because it's a dismissal with prejudice, meaning it can't be used as leverage against him. They can't bring the case back.
Yeah, so regardless of whether or not you think that Eric Adams is guilty or not guilty, honestly, let's be real. Biden got away with the biggest influence peddling operation that we've ever seen, right? I'm just saying, if Biden's not going to jail, then, hey, should Eric Adams go to jail? I guess the answer to that question is maybe yes, but at the same time, I'm more pissed off about Joe Biden not facing consequences for influence peddling, right? Rather than Eric Adams. Regardless, now that the charges have been dropped and they can't be brought back, you can't say that the Trump administration is blackmailing him or holding the charges above his head in order for him to enforce illegal immigration law in New York City, just due to the fact that they can't bring him back, right? So there's nothing over Eric Adams anymore, right? He's his own man, right? He's not a puppet of the Trump administration, but he's still a useful tool, right? Again, however, though, he's not compelled to do anything because the Trump administration, they can't bring charges back against him. So that argument against Eric Adams is now gone, right? He's his own guy.
And you're going to hear it here, and I'm not the political guy, I'm the legal guy here. Andrew Cuomo, full disclosure, my friend, will be the next mayor of New York City. Although it'll be very interesting. Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa, and incumbent Mayor Adams running against each other in November.
It's going to be fascinating.
I've volunteered to moderate the debate since I know all of them.
Okay, good. Well, we'll look forward to that. We'll do it right here on Newsmax.
Be fabulous.
All right, I would love that too.
Yeah, so that is where it gets interesting. And that's why I think this move from Eric Adams is more about revenge more so than anything, okay? Because he could have just dropped out of the Democrat primary. He wasn't going to win. Also, Democrats have this weird ranked choice voting thing going on, right, in the primaries and special elections in New York City. So what that means is that, there's no guarantee that Andrew Cuomo is going to be the person. He's likely going to be the guy, but at the same time, Andrew Yang in the New York City mayor primary was leading at this very same time back in 2021, and Eric Adams ended up winning, right? So there's actually no guarantee that Andrew Cuomo is actually going to win. Yes, he's ahead right now. He's leading, okay? But again, with the ranked choice voting thing, that kind of throws a wrench in who's actually going to win. We really don't know. It is likely he's going to win, but regardless, Eric Adams running as an independent in the general election, which is not ranked choice voting, basically is going to make it easier for the Republican to possibly win, okay? And we have seen Republicans win in New York City before. Giuliani, for example. I know that was a long time ago, but it's not unheard of. And with Eric Adams running as an independent, but still a Democrat, right? This is what he's saying, which again, that's why I find it to be fascinating. That's why I'm like, yo, this is revenge. 100% this is about revenge. He knows he's not going to win, okay? But if he can take away enough votes from the Democrat in order to help the Republican candidate, Curtis Sliwa, win, right? That is what could possibly happen, okay? Eric Adams, when he ran in the general election, he got 66% of the vote. Curtis Sliwa got 22%. So I guess back then, I guess there's an argument to be made since Mayor Adams is an independent but still a Democrat. He could cut into those Democrat votes significantly, right? Now, again, will it be enough to allow the Republican to win? We don't know, right? But it certainly gives a Republican a better chance of winning if Eric Adams is in the race, okay, as an independent / Democrat, right? Because, again, he's not going to the Republican Party. He's not running as a Republican. He's clearly trying to take away votes from whoever ends up winning the Democrat primary, right? Which is why I find this to be so fascinating, okay? He's not a puppet of the Trump administration per se, because the Trump administration doesn't really have leverage over him anymore. But he is a useful tool, and who knows, right? Maybe he'll get a job or something like that, because he could have just went away, right? He could have just been like, you know what, I'm good. I'm just going to go away. I got my freedom. I'm good, right? I'm done with politics. But he's not doing that, right? He's staying in, and he's kneecapping the Democrat candidate. We will see if it works. I don't know if it will, but he has enough name recognition. He's clearly running in the Democrat lane for a reason, and it will be very interesting. It's going to be very fascinating to see what the results of the New York City mayor race will be, okay, as a result of Eric Adams being in the race. It is likely that a Democrat is still going to win, but Eric Adams being in the race as an independent definitely makes it a lot more interesting, and we could be in for a surprise. Who knows? But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.